Hello everyone, this is my entry to the Whatever the Hell contest of 2025. One of the judges of this event mentioned something about being passionate about something, and I thought to myself, what am I passionate about that I could only express in less than 7 minutes? So, I thought about 3 characters, Derek, Margot, and their nomad friend Moki, in a vast chamber filled with giant relics and artifacts of another civilization. And there,
at the far end of the cavern, a door with a strange inscription. All who enter these portals pass through time.
Yes, the greatest adventure, stories from the Bible. This is a home video series on VHS tapes that were released through the 80s and 90s. This animated series stars these characters traveling through biblical times, a common trope of using time travel as a device to learn about stories from a book. They don't really do much since I guess they want to spend more time retelling an accurate account from what's in the book. There are even some episodes where they are just talking to someone, recounting the events from their perspective. They'll often be like, the gospel? Why, these scrolls? And you said you knew St. Peter? Yes, my name is Mark, and I'm writing my gospel. Come, sit down, let me tell you the story of the life of Jesus. Or, is it true that you were eaten by a whale? Why, yes, I'm Jonah, and I was running away from God and my responsibilities. Come, sit, let me tell you all about it. Or, can you please tell us what you witnessed on the very first Christmas?
Thousands of years ago, before the dawn of man as we knew him, there was Sir Santa of Claus.
Okay, seriously though, they went back in time just to have someone tell them what happened? The rest of the cartoons showed some pretty compelling stories, glossing over all the problematic and gory details.
This slavery is back-breaking work. I hate it.
Although to be fair, there is this one scene in David and Goliath. Now, I'm not going to get into the religious topics, but more focusing on the entertainment nature of it. And nostalgic goggles aside, I do think it's one of the better cartoons that's centered around the Bible. I know that's not really setting a high bar since most cartoons on religion are really for little kids, and they're usually nightmare-inducing CGI like Cherub's Angel or Gaither's Pond. The animation is a little limiting, but pretty detailed, kind of like Captain Planet or Johnny Quest. In fact, the animation was provided, or at least I can only say that some of the series' animation were credited to Wang Film Productions, the same studio that did some of the episodes from the New Adventures of Johnny Quest. According to the LA Times, each episode was roughly $300,000 to make. That and distribution was funded by Warner's parent company, Taft, but under the Warner's home video label in these gray slipcases. These are serviceable and probably what most people remember, but I like to think the design of the Turner release, these kind of look like Bible books, or at least books that people put on the shelf for decorations more so than reading. Another thing that bothered me about the early gray ones was the logo that appeared before the cartoon. It's tacky. I hate it. It feels so out of place, especially now because it's retroactively a meme. You're about to watch some biblical stories, then suddenly, Granddad! Now, people have been circulating to... Actually, can I even quote TV tropes? Anyway, in the early 2000s, they did release some of these episodes onto DVD. I happen to have one right here, but it's pretty bare bones. They had enough to fit a few on one disc, and they could release it in volumes even, but alas, of the 13 episodes in the series, only 5 of them were ever released in this format, and the rest wouldn't see the light of day until nearly 40 years later on a network called MeTV Toons that airs a large portion of Hanna-Barbera's library. Maybe one day we can have the whole series released on 2 to 3 disc DVD sets, or maybe even a Blu-ray. But until then, this VHS collection is the only way to own it officially and physically. Join me after the break, and we will talk about...
this show ain't that bad. You ever seen this show?
Oh no, I never really saw it.
That's funny, because, I was thinking, how did you know that Wang Film Productions worked on this if you've never even seen this show? Let's be honest here. You were doing okay, and then you wanted to add that little bit of trivia.
Do if you found your child seeing this, or even this. Millions of kids around the world have to suffer from poor animation, but with your contributions you can turn this into this into this, and this to even. With just dollars a day, you can make a difference and stop such atrocities from ever reaching your child's eyes. Click the link in the description and you will be sent a Hobo Special and this None for JJ t-shirt. And we are back, and here to confirm that the credits of the New Adventures of Johnny Quest does in fact have Wang Film Production. Citation needed and citation provided. But anyways, thank you all for joining me in my hopping showcasing of my collection of these greatest adventure tapes. Perhaps one day I will dive deeper into each episode, or maybe I will look at the greatest heroes and legends of the Bible next, or the animated stories from the New Testament, or even Superbook. Also, I'd like to thank you for not only hosting this event/contest, but also extending the deadline, although me being a bit tongue-in-cheek with these rules might end up disqualified.